Hi guys, it's Agita. Welcome to another video. If you're new here, welcome to my channel, Enchanted Bookends. I mostly post book reviews of any new books that I've read or any classics or any book that I come across and I feel needs a review and I feel that I need to share with you. I do that on my channel, so if you want to follow me along on my reading journey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And thank you for being here. I'm really excited to make this video because it's not a book review, it's not a review video, which I usually do. And in this video I am going to announce a readathon. Never have I ever hosted a readathon or announced a readathon or ever done one of those 24-hour readathons, just because I never had the capacity to do that. So I have designed a readathon such that it would fit my lifestyle, my yearly goals and my reading goals, and also it would be stress-free and more enjoyable. And I hope you too find that you could join me in this readathon. If you feel like these help with your reading goals or would just give you that little boost to read a book which you wouldn't have. Anyway, let me first start by explaining what a readathon is, just in case if you don't know what it is. I certainly didn't know what a readathon meant until I started watching book-related videos on YouTube. So a readathon is when you read one or more books in a set amount of time. Sometimes the readathons have a certain theme. Sometimes they are like a 24-hour readathon to say how many books you can read in those 24 hours. And sometimes the readathon can last a month or more than a month, and that's what this readathon is going to be. It's going to be a surviving this winter readathon. I'm just going to call it an enchanted winter readathon, just because, you know, not everyone might find winters difficult. I certainly struggle with winters. I struggle with the time after New Year's until the arrival of spring. There's just nothing in these months, and the cold, gray, wet weather just doesn't help with that. So I thought I would design a readathon such that it would help me focus on reading rather than the seasonal moodiness and the seasonal blues. Let's get started. So this readathon starts on the 21st of January, so that is next Sunday, I believe. I don't know if it's Sunday or Saturday. I'm sorry. I believe it's Sunday. So that is 9 weeks in total, okay? So I believe it's 9 weeks in total. 3 times 3 is 9, right? Yes. Hopefully by then the worst of the cold, wet months will have gone by while we are immersed in our reading. So I've set up the readathon such that for the first 3 weeks there are a couple of prompts, and then the following 3 weeks there are other prompts, and then the last 3 weeks is the one that I am really looking forward to, because it'll be almost spring and I cannot wait for spring. So January 21st through February 10th, I believe, 3 weeks from January 21st, the overall prompt is just to step back in time. What would be more ideal than just leaving this present world, the world which is full of hatred and conflict and is so gray at the moment? We'll just step back in time. So it could be a time travel themed book, yeah, or it could be a historical fiction, or it could be both, I guess. Just mix it up and step back, ideally from the 21st century, go back to the 20th, even better go back to the 19th or the 18th century. You could mix up more genres in there. It could be like a time travel romance if that's what you're into. It could be steampunk It could be a historical romance, it could be a historical fiction, it could be, you know, urban fiction, urban fantasy, where the plot begins today, but you know, the majority of plot takes place in the past or some other place, as long as it follows this prompt. And yeah, let's move on to the next one. February 11th to March, I'm just referring to my notes here, February 11th to March 2nd, that'll be 3 weeks. The next 3 weeks I have 2 prompts. First one is chills and thrills. I don't know about you, but I sometimes find myself looking for gothic reads during this time, or books that I generally would read in October during the fall season. Think about witchy reads, right? Think about a dark murder mystery, or anything spooky. Think about Stephen King. So anything that gives you chills or thrills, and if it does both, then woohoo. But I'm also aware that the second leg of the readathon is starting on February 11th, very close to February 14th, and there's romance in the air, so you might want to pick something romantic, right? So the prompt for this one I have is giggles and guffaw. So anything, any lighthearted read, any romance, or any book that makes you laugh, makes you roar with laughter, and it's just a really lighthearted read. Could be something really romantic, could be something that just brings you joy, because that's what love does, doesn't it? It brings us a lot of joy. So giggles and guffaws, because nobody should be sad during Valentine's Day, or just, yeah, you know, the whole purpose of this readathon is to make ourselves feel good. But if you are not into romance, I wanted to give you the options of reading a book that gives you chills or thrills, or both. Then the last leg of this readathon starts on March 3rd and it goes on to March 23rd. And this is the time when I want to acknowledge that, yes, this is a readathon that is happening in winter. And when is the best time to appreciate winter, to love the biting cold and the gray skies and wet weather? When is a good time? It's when spring is around the corner. All right, so for this prompt, think about, it's going to be all about celebrating winter, right? So think about a book that is set in winter, or it could be a book with lots of snow and ice. Think about polar bears. Think about fantasy where there is frost and snow, and or you can think about a murder mystery set in winter. This particular leg of readathon is keeping in mind that not everyone might dislike winters and would want to read something that is quite atmospheric. I'll be honest, I don't know any book that is kind of set in winter and that celebrates the cold weather and with a lot of descriptions of snow and ice. I really don't know. The only book that comes to mind is For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. I read the first one. I haven't read the second one, but I'm not too keen on reading the second because I read the first probably 2 years ago or 3. I don't even recall that, but I did enjoy it. It was quite atmospheric. However, I'm not sure. So if you have any recommendations for the last prompt, you know, books that celebrate winter, that is set in winter, do let me know in the comments down below. I'm really looking for recommendations, and I still haven't found a book that I feel compelled to read. If you don't think you can participate in each leg of the readathon, don't beat yourself up. Even if you participate in one leg and read one of the prompts, you can even try to read one of the prompts earlier and still be part of this readathon. But don't forget to share your thoughts with me. I haven't really decided which book I'm going to read for each leg of this readathon. I do have some books in my mind, but I want to keep you updated, and I'll keep you posted on which book I decide to read. I'll post, let's say, a couple of days before each leg of the readathon to let you know which book I have decided to read, so that if you want to read that, you can join me and we can share our thoughts. So yeah, I'm really excited to do this. I do plan to do more readathons in 2024. All right, I'm looking forward to your participation, and thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so that we can keep each other motivated to get through this winter. So yeah, and don't forget to like this video. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.